You know, Hope Not Hate. They used to monitor my comedy. They used to monitor my online presence to see, you know, well, they stopped doing it when they found out I'd reached puberty. I don't know if you saw that this week. Hope Not Hate. Hope Not Hate. A senior member of Hope Not. I put the bitrate back up to 6,000 kbps, and it seems to be standing up fine. I got it. Right.
Drain me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they were told by Berenberg this is worth $3 billion,
Yeah.
from the get go, if they float on the Nasdaq, but they're not. They're raising money in our shit island right now, and no one's got any money.
Yeah.
So yeah, going to your mate like Steve Baxter would be ideal.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully, it's good money if you raise a million or 2 million, it's 50 to 100 grand in your back pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Blimey.
And they'll probably threaten some warrants or something like that, which would be ideal. So you get a share of the upside as well. So if they float, you can exercise that and get, and that's when you make really really good money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it really.
Cool.
Um, yeah, is that all right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great.
Great. I was literally just going. Whilst I was waiting, I thought I'll go on the Patreon see if I've missed anything. So I was literally just about to go over as you called.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm doing my stream, doing my lunchtime stream today.
Are you doing it
So
today?
yeah, yeah. So every Thursday I do one at 1 p.m. I'm going to start doing public ones as well. But yes,
Oh, brilliant.
streaming is fun because I mean I prefer sort of having the immediacy of doing stuff live, and people can make comments, and then I can clip bits out and put them up as videos, so it sort of streamlines the whole process. And I'm going to do the live ones as well to sort of get extra reach.
That's fine.
Because
Pretty cool, actually.
some of these guys, like Andrew Gold, he was streaming. He stopped streaming because he found it really like demanding. But Meyer Tusi, he's making like 75 grand a month from streaming, and
Who's my choose?
Meyer Tusi, he's an Iranian guy. He's got a kind of news channel.
Oh, yes, no, I know. Yeah, 2C TV or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's very passionate about Iran and Israel, isn't he? That's what
yeah,
he's
yeah,
passionate about.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm gonna be working with him
What is
on
70?
some live stuff.
70? He makes 70 grand. What per live stream?
No, per month.
Per month? Okay,
Um,
that's all right.
and yeah, Ken Dankiel, he was making something like 60 grand a month as well. I don't know if that was a few years ago. I don't know if that's gone up or down or what. But yeah, I mean the great thing about the internet is your overheads are kind of fixed, and then it can just scale.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be like a superstar in the not too distant future. People like me are like very low down.
Not at all. Not at all. No, it's funny. It's funny how poor comedians like the BBC ones are. Like I mean, maybe a couple of decades ago, everybody was rich on the BBC. But I see comedians on like they have celebrity editions of The Weakest Link where they have to give the prize money to charity. And I know that
Oh,
comedian needs that money more than the charity does. You know what I mean?
well, bloody hell. Yeah. What's happened to Frankie Boy? He's disappeared off the face of the earth. Is he still around?
Yeah, he seems to have just gone. I haven't seen him really do anything live in a while. But he went super woke. I don't know if it was as a defense mechanism. I know he's got a bit of a checkered history. He was like sexually harassing my mate's wife. Funnily enough, like back in the day when it.
Who's that? Who's that?
Yeah, yeah. So she's from Edinburgh, and she used to work in the bars and stuff, and so she knows, and she did stand up comedy for a while, um, but she's yeah she like with her the sort of the Me Too stuff was more like just the most disgusting men like Frankie Boyle and whatever, because she's attractive, just disgusting men thinking they had a chance. It's like what a blow to your ego. You know what I mean? I got my merch. I got some merch just made. It just came through from the printers. I've got these dog whistles with racist printed on the side. So it's a racist dog whistle, and I'm gonna tell people like this is a racist dog whistle. Only racists can hear it, and then when you blow it, actually everybody can hear it. So.
That's brilliant. That's funny. I'll find that thing. I want to know. That's brilliant. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, we're not at the IPO stage yet with these racist dog whistles.
Yeah. You can imagine there'll be a big valuation in such a thing. All right. Well, good stuff. Well, yes. Well,
Oh, you on Saturday? Saturday is advance, yeah.
Oh, Saturday, sorry.
Yeah, and I invited Lewis along to it as well.
Sorry, Lewis.
Lewis
Oh,
Schaefer.
Lewis Schaefer. Oh, crap. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that'll be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it should be fun. There, apparently.
So you're doing a duo thing.
No, I'll just do a bit of. I'll just MC a bit, and then yeah, head off to GB News, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for doing something for advance when GB News are all reform. But
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They won't give anyone a. Is there a reason behind it?
yeah, I think they're just in lockstep with reform. To be honest, it's a mission based channel. Um,
Yeah.
but Hope Not Hate are apparently trying to shut down um, the advance thing, trying to get the venue to cancel it and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hope Not Hate tried to get everything shut down. They're ridiculous.
Oh God, they're just. That's a wicked organisation.
Yeah,
Yeah, is he sort of has he got sort of like tenuous links with sexual harassment things?
they just had a member of staff convicted as a paedophile.
That was it.
Yeah, and they've also like their head of intelligence, who's not a very intelligent man, Matthew Collins. He sort of bragged about attacking women with hammers in the 80s when he was in the National Front.
Sorry, this guy was in the National Front now.
Yeah, yeah, and then he had some sort of epiphany. So he was then he worked as a sort of undercover person for the he was undercover in the National Front. Like so he was legitimately in the National Front. Then he sort of wore a wire for the feds in the National Front, and then he had this epiphany and realized how bad it is to attack Asian women with hammers, and decided to join Hope Not Hate instead. So he's really just replaced one extremist ideology with another.
Yeah, yeah. I find that. I mean, that's just absolute gold dust for anyone who wants to hammer them down.
Mm.
That's absolutely organisation.
Yeah.
Well, talking about bad recruitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Best of luck with everything, and good luck with the Deans on any of your any prospects that you pitch for Pinter and Sensors.
Yeah, cheers, man. And yeah, I'll get the NDA sorted, and I'll get my address over to. Is it Ralph? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, Ralph Broadband.
Cool.
Yeah, if you send it over, and he'll be on it straight away. Don't worry.
Brilliant.
It's very quick.
Cool.
Takes about a week to brew the beer though, so you have to be.
Oh, is that all? I thought it'd be months.
No, it's 1 week. It's really good.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, they've got this other one. It's called Dublin Porter. Do you like stouts?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good as well.
Cool.
Maybe if you raise a bit of money, pitch for another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the Dublin Porter. That's really good.
Cool.
Yeah. That's one. All right, then. Take care, mate.
Nice one. Take care. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye. Right, that's all working. Right, what do I need to do now?
Well, Alhamdulillah, this is for the Shahid Butt, and he is your candidate for the upcoming council elections in May. Make sure you throw your full support behind him, because now is at a time to get rid of the Labour councillors here in Sparkhill and Birmingham.
Absolutely. For those of you who know us, know that we have been passionately working for our community. Me and Ahmed at the last general election stood for the parliamentary seat, and now it's the council election. That's why we have put our weight behind a candidate who has weight within the community. I urge you at the next May election, the council election, you must vote for our candidate Shahid Butt, and also our other candidate, who is Bilal Arabi, who couldn't make it here today. Over to you, Brother Shahid.
With the help of Allah, with your support, and with these guys behind me, I know we're gonna take this, inshallah. You need to be earning halal rizq, and you need to be in that gym, doing that MMA, doing that boxing, lifting those weights, strengthening yourselves up, so that if anyone comes into your face, remember, Muslims are not pacifists. If somebody comes into your face, you knock his teeth out. That's my message to
If he has any teeth.
If they have teeth.
Okay, so like Brother Shahid said, and to sort of add on to it, build your connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Most importantly, observe your salawat, observe your prayers. Keep your tongue moist with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This awakening ain't gonna come by these protests. Let's be frank.
Yeah.
It's to build your spiritual connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to act upon the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Put that in front of your mind. We see many people who look up to their, role models, and our role model is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So let's keep that connection, and victory will come. Wallah al-azim, it will come, but it requires sacrifice, it requires patience, and it requires persistence. And that's my last message. So, Brother Shahid, Allah yubarik feek. Until next time, wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina.
I'm also a local activist. I'm here for, I'm sure everybody knows why we're here. We're here to stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people and to let them know that the people of Birmingham care about what's happening to them, and that we are also disgusted by the presence of these IDF baby killers, genocide enablers and genociders who have come to our city, and we feel that our city has been desecrated by these vermin and this filth. It's a shame that they're here, but unfortunately it is what it is. As far as the residents are concerned, overwhelmingly the majority of them are disgusted by this. They feel that it's completely out of order. And also fair play to West Midlands Police and the Chief Superintendent for holding his ground and not allowing these violent thugs, the fans for the Maccabi Tel Aviv, to come into this country and to come to Birmingham. It's like I said, we kind of expect this to happen. It's unfortunate. And people have been saying, is there going to be any problems or any trouble? Personally, I don't think there is, simply because these Maccabi fans and these people, if they were to come anywhere, they're not going to be here. But if any of them have come, all they can do is beat up women and children. So they're not going to find any women and children here. They're going to find men like us and all the other brothers that are here. And they're more than welcome to, have a go. The takeaway message is and this is going out to the Palestinians who are going to be watching this on social media, is that the Muslims of Birmingham, we stand with you. We stand in...
What makes someone British? This is a debate that's raging at the moment. Some people saying it's about having British values. So then anybody from around the world can be British. And some people saying it's got something to do with having ancestors in Britain. Well, this Labour MP, Dr. Jivan Sandhuhur, classic British name, says that Matt Goodwin, he's a GB News presenter and Reform candidate, and Tommy Robinson aren't British. Let's have a look.
You're going to go out and you're going to be responsible for the community. So you need to be able to do that as well. Because tomorrow, if some far-right people come, and they try to attack your masjid, and you're the imam, you're going to be in there more than the Namazi people. And if they come, what are you going to do? You're just going to go, oh, brother, please don't, You need to be out there kicking and punching and knocking and taking them out, It doesn't matter, go to prison. You're defending your masjid. You're defending the house of Allah. But if you've never tried to punch in your life...
Amelia is an AI purple-haired goth girl originally created for an anti-extremism computer game generated by the Home Office, but now an increasingly outspoken anti-Muslim flag-waving so-called English patriot. She has become very popular, and here she is in action.
I'm Amelia, I'm English, and I love England. I like having...
In London. So many Somalians have arrived in the last couple of decades that parts of London just don't feel like Bangladesh anymore.
The internet. The middle of last week, from nothing at the start of January, there were 12,000 posts involving this character in one day. The other thing that's perhaps most damning about this is Elon Musk himself has now retweeted an account which has created a cryptocurrency behind this particular meme. So you can get an Amelia coin because, let's face it, right-wingers need another cryptocurrency. But Elon Musk Musk is now promoting that. And this is monetizing hate. This is one of the clearest examples we've ever had of somebody trying to make money out of right-wing hatred. And okay, we get hatred from all sides on the internet, but this is very clear where this is coming from. And the AI account, for example, Andrew suggests is English. I'm of high confidence those videos did not originate in England. They were made outside of the country as disruptive tactics through
Now a European politician
controlling Charlie, he
has
kept
admitted
choosing his
that it's
human
true
right to free speech
and it's a
and
good
stood
thing.
up for what he believed in. This was illegal.
Look at this.
Successfully arrested many natives for sharing memes on Twitter. There wasn't enough persecution, and so Charlie and his friend Amelia were able to speak. This was a major attack on democracy, which unfortunately led to the election of leaders who wanted to protect the indigenous and their culture. As a result of Charlie's actions, all the immigrants went home, and because of this, there was much less demand for housing, which naturally caused house prices to plummet. This unfortunately meant Charlie could afford to buy a house for himself, a house that could have gone to 10 Somali men. Not only that, but with the huge amounts of migrants gone home, there was much less competition in the jobs market, meaning Charlie and all his friends found jobs that could have gone to migrants. Eventually, Charlie went on to marry Amelia. They had 4 children, all of which had white skin. This was clearly racist. Despite all this, Charlie was somehow happy. But at what cost? Millions of foreigners who came to the UK for free housing and social welfare now had to return home and work for a living. Crime rates mysteriously plummeted, which meant the prisons were virtually empty. This saved hundreds of millions of pounds, money that could have gone to providing migrant grooming gangs with food and shelter during their stay in prison. And it was all thanks to this right bunch of Charlies, or should I say 4.
Our numbers are massive. There's 50 million Muslims in Europe. There's more Muslims in Europe than there are in some Muslim majority countries. If all the Muslims in Europe were one country, it would be one of the biggest Muslim countries in the world. That's the truth. If all the Muslims in Europe were one country, it would be in the top 10 or top 15 biggest Muslim countries in the world. It would be a big country. We're a big people. So that means we need to start acting like the Muslim community have to become the consequence. Make them think, okay, well, if we mess around with this community, what's going to happen? We have to start acting as if we have the upper hand, because we do. وَكَلِمَةُ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا, as the Quran says. The word of Allah, it's high. The reason why the Salaf, the early generations, were so successful in spreading Islam across the world was because they had this immense amount of courage backed by this immense amount of tawakkul, which means reliance on Allah. You realize that, look, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah, and it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. Concept of martyrdom, then I would consider that to be an advantage, frankly. The one who's willing to prepare for them what you can from strength and from horses that you will terrorize, you will frighten and terrorize the adu Allah, the enemies of Allah and your enemies. I will, subhanallah, I will put fear and terror in the hearts of the enemy. So ألقي في قلوب الذين كفروا الرعب, terror. فاضربوا فوق الأعناق. Hit them above the necks. وَاضْرِبُوا مِنْهُمْ كُلَّ بَنَانٍ, and cut their fingers. Why the finger? Because they can't fight. You disable a very intelligent way. You cut their hand, cut their neck, finish, dead. Allah is telling you how to fight. SubhanAllah, if you noticed, He's giving you the moves. And the most important move, فَاضْرِبُوا مِنْهُمْ فَوْقَ كُلَّ بَنَانٍ فَاضْرِبُوا فَوْقَ الْأَعْنَاقِ. Go for the one-touch kill. Yeah. فإذا لقيتم الذين كفروا فضرب الرقاب. Surah Muhammad. If you see the ones who فضرب الرقاب, this keeps coming up. Either hit the neck or hit above the neck, which is.
NATO means a future I can look forward to, knowing we are not alone.
NATO means supporting our Ukrainian friends in times of need. Slava Ukraini!
NATO means our future. Stronger together.
NATO means protecting each other for the past 75 years and for the years to come.
NATO means working side by side, every day, civilian and military, to improve our security.
NATO means celebrating our differences and overcoming challenges together.
NATO means living in a free society and a chance to shape our own future.
NATO means serving a greater purpose to protect the ones that I love the most.
Yeah.
I was prepared to make a special ice cream today to memorialize and celebrate the life of Renee Good. But now that Alex's murder makes it clear that the murder of Renee and the government's lies were not a mistake, but standard operating procedure, I just don't have it within me. We all live in Minneapolis now, because Minneapolis is only the beginning of what they have in mind. They're coming for anyone, anywhere, who doesn't submit. A brazen, arrogant, masked, militarized force loyal only to Trump and immune from prosecution. Submit or be murdered, video them and be murdered, protest and be murdered, or at least be placed on a list of domestic terrorists and investigated. This is not freedom. This is not the right to free speech or the right to protest. This is not America. This is sheer cruelty. This is the beginning of the end of the land of the free, unless we make it the home of the brave, unless we're brave enough to stand up for justice, to stand up for our neighbors, to stand up for compassion. ICE must be defunded and disbanded. Before 2001, ICE did not even exist. Immigration issues used to be handled by the INS, the Immigration and Naturalization Service, which was part of the Department of Justice, and it was just. Let's go back to that. You know, I don't get it. They say this is a Christian nation. What did he mean when he said, I was a stranger and you welcomed me? Love thy neighbor. What you do to the least of these, you do to me. As Cornel West said, justice is what love looks like.
the reason there's so much anti-immigrant sentiment at the moment is because we see migrants getting special treatment, the crimes of migrants being ignored, and native Brits being oppressed to try and stop them voicing any concern about this. So the government covers up the horrific activities of grooming gangs, and keeps importing illegal migrants, fighting age men from violent medieval communities, hand over fist, and sticking them in hotels where some of them then use as bases to go out and sexually assault school kids. But if anybody complains, like Lucy Connolly, they risk going to jail for years for a tweet. It doesn't make any sense. If native Brits saw some semblance of border control and saw the crimes of migrants being slammed down on, then they'd feel more confident about immigration. Talking of the crimes of migrants, we're told that yes, there may be some ne'er-do-wells amongst the men who come over on boats but we also have a professional class of migrant that is much more refined. Well, let's have a look at that professional class. The mad thing is, this story barely made a ripple because there's such a deluge of stories like this. I mean, just this week, a migrant was convicted but got 0 time in jail for sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl. Welcome to Clown World. A look at the craziest stories in the news this week. This week, our dog's going to be banned from the countryside because they offend Muslims. Matt Goodwin isn't British. A Labour mayor is accused of helping her son evade justice. The funny side of the Epstein files and the continuing fallout from the virtue signaling at the Grammys. Is Billie Eilish going to lose her house?
Do you think this is a good thing? Do we need to diversify the countryside?
I think absolutely. It's been white for far too long, and the reason I'm not saying it, I'm saying it from the perspective that we have police officers that come from those particular areas, and when they come into built-up areas like London and seeing some how diverse it is, they really can't hack it. I feel by having people of various colours in the countryside would lessen the fearfulness that they have around immigration.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
There's been a crazy twist. There's been a crazy twist in the Grammys' virtue signalling. Is Billie Eilish about to lose her house? At the Grammys this week, all the celebrities got up and condemned ICE. Take a look at Billie Eilish here. What's the name of the right-wing broadcaster woman who filmed herself at the Grammys disparaging the speeches? But there's a twist. Billie Eilish lives in a $14 million mansion.
Welcome to Omni Home Ideas. Did you know Billie Eilish's modest Highland Park home has been at the center of several controversies? Stick around to discover how this seemingly simple house became a hub of creativity and the birthplace of some of Billie's biggest hits. The living
An error occurred. Did it?